Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you on this fantastic Monday morning. We are in the midst of a very fine rally as far as Dalal Street is concerned, and I am recommending that you tighten your seat belts because we are headed for a record high on the Nifty as well. Not exactly in the month of June, but fairly soon. The Nifty is now at 25,140. It's broken past the 2-month average that it was in the trading zone. The high that we hit on 15th of May was 25,116. Now we are well above that. Bank Nifty is already at a fresh high, 57,019, 435 points higher. So is the Fin Nifty, and across the board we have a sharp rally in PSU banks, in several PSU counters, real estate stocks, auto stocks, thanks to the 50 basis point rate cut by the RBI and also a 100 basis point rate cut in the cash reserve ratio. So huge amount of liquidity has been injected into the market, and all sorts of NBFCs are making very strong gains. Look at Bajaj Finance, second most active traded counter on the NSE today, 4.5% higher. Already 1,280 crores worth of shares have been traded. You have a strong move coming into Shriram Finance, now at a multi-month high, 707, 2.8% higher. You have Bandhan Bank, RBL Bank, AU Bank, IndusInd Bank, Kotak Bank, mid cap, small cap banks all firing up because now the expectation is of a strong credit growth, but NBFCs are leading the charge. Let's take a view in the market. We are now joined by Mr. Manish Jain, Chief Strategy Officer and Director at Mirae Asset Capital Markets. Namaste to you, Manish Jain, a very warm welcome. What are you advising your ultra HNI clients when it comes to RBI's rate cut? It was supposed to be 25, came by 50, and of course this surprise rate cut of 100 basis points in the CRR.
So, Shelji, thanks for having me here again. I think for the banks, the move had been good, and while everybody was expecting 25 basis point, so definitely there was a surprise when the 50 basis points, cut came in. Also, what is also surprising that the whole thing is aided by the cut in CRR as well, and which is announced in advance that there would be 100 basis point reduction in a calibrated manner. And if we couple it with these two things, I think the transmission is going to be better. So from that perspective, I think it's very good for the banking stocks. But one needs to really understand that the cut in CRR will be in a phased manner and it will not start immediately, while the cut in repo will happen immediately. So the expectation of improvement in the NIMs would happen with some delay, that because a lot of loans are still
Yes.
in a flexible regime. So that transmission will happen first and CRR transmission will happen little later. So yes, you are right that the gold finance companies, the NBFC companies are really running very high in the anticipation. But the financial metrics improvement is will start with some lag. Having said that, yes, it's a big measure. It's a good measure. So as a sector, the BFSI sector is in definitely focus again. Credit growth had been the concern, and there had been a dip of roughly 400 basis points in credit growth on a YOY basis. Somewhere, I think RBI is trying to fuel that credit growth into the system so that the overall economy can get a boost. So from my side, I think yes, I would consider it as a very positive for the sector.
Okay. Manish, your research team has had now 48 hours to uh, digest this surprise move by the RBI. Any changes that Mirae Capital Asset has made in its portfolio that it recommends to clients? Any additions, any deletions, any higher weightages?
No, I think, Shelji, what we had been anticipating from the beginning of this calendar year that going forward, couple of things will happen. One, we were anticipating that the earnings will get bottom out, and if you look at the recent earnings which have come out, probably people are saying that we are surprised by the growth in the top line and also in the EPS growth. Our estimate was that somewhere the earnings would have bottomed out in the last quarter, and from here on, the growth in the top line and bottom line would definitely be better. So if we go by that, we are not really making many changes in our recommendations in our portfolios. The kind of recommendations we made from the sector perspective and the kind of recommendations which we made from the stock perspective have remained the same. Fortunately, the anticipation is playing out in the right direction, be it in the banking sector, if you so to speak, be it in the auto sector, be it in the rural sector, which is now also going back to linking both rural and auto. So I don't think we are really making many changes after this announcement.
Okay. Okay, ठीक है. Okay. When you, Manish, now when you look at the market, is there hope that we will be seeing a fresh high on the Nifty fairly soon, given that banking index, which is the Nifty bank, is at a record high, Fin Nifty is at a record high. There is a smart recovery that's happening in Nifty small cap and mid cap. What is your view for the Nifty, maybe for the next 1 or 2 months?
Telji, we are we had kind of turned positive somewhere around mid-March into the markets, and from there on, I think markets have given decent return. If I look at Nifty itself, I think from our turning point, probably it's already 8 to 10% up. For all practical purpose, Shelji, we are already at all-time high. I mean, maybe 2-3% here and there from the last all-time high. I wouldn't really count that not being all-time high. So, uh, then the predicting that can we surpass the all-time high in 4 to 6 weeks is definitely not really the way I would like to look at it. I think, as I said, in practical terms, we are already at all-time high, and we are not really negative in the markets as of now with respect to whether it is earnings, whether it is inflation trajectory, whether it is GDP projection, the USD INR trajectory, or 10-year GSEC trajectory. A couple of things which we have highlighted what could derail the whole markets, and you also need to keep that in mind, is that geopolitics is really becoming very complex. So I think that's one challenge which
Okay.
can force market to retreat if some unexpected turns happen. Secondly, while it is still under control, but the COVID situation is as of now very mild, um, and we are dealing with the
Correct.
situation
Correct.
very effectively. But I would really like to keep these two things in the back of my mind. One would be geopolitics, and second would be any outbreak in the COVID.
Okay. Manishi, within the research team at Mirae, what is the top pick in the NBFC sector? Top two picks.
So, Shelji, I think we had been releasing the top picks to our institutional clients on an occasional basis. I think it would be difficult for me to really give the top two or top three picks by the name in the sector, but frankly, it's pretty much out there that what are our sector-wise top picks, uh, and from there, for me to pick one or two stocks would not be really right at this moment.
Okay, fair point. Uh, how do you see the real estate space now, given the fact that there is an additional 25 basis rate cut, and also the fact that now all kinds of banks and NBFCs would be a little freer in improving their credit growth? Will real estate benefit?
I think, if I remember correctly, while I was traveling last week, but I guess reality index had been the far, has gained the largest, I think 9-10%, if I remember correctly, it has run up by that. Couple of things have happened. There had been tax cut, so of course people have more money for the consumption, and you have, as you rightly said, auto, realty, FMCG comes under that basket. Uh, and now aided by the cut in the interest rate. So definitely, both the factors are working really very well for the real estate as a sector. And being uh, Indian middle class always have a fancy to own a house. And, when two factors work in your favor, one, you have uh, more money to pay for your EMIs, and the overall EMIs and tenor get reduced, then what best combination you can have. So I think yes, real estate frankly has hit a sweet spot here.
Manish, what is the view that you are sharing with your institutional clients on the space of mid caps and small caps? One thing was very clear, I think, about 5-6 months ago, when the entire market said, okay, let's go for large caps and have an overweight bearing on them. That has panned out well. Would you have a broader view on mid cap and small cap indices?
So yes, we were also of the view that when the market made a turning point, the large cap uh, would offer a better safety and could give good returns. Because the law of averaging played out very well in the large cap. The valuation came around mean, but for the mid cap and small cap, it was still at, I think, above one standard deviation. So from that perspective, if we look at large cap theme played out well, I would still say, Shelji, that the mid cap and small cap, I wouldn't really look at the index as of now, but certain theme which we had been talking about have really done well after the correction in the mid cap and small cap, and a good bounce has happened around that theme. So whether you look at defense, that gave a good bounce, you look at power and ancillary structure, that gave you the good bounce post the correction. So I would say that, on a select basis, I am still positive on the mid cap and small cap, and I wouldn't, as I said, wouldn't look at the index. I would look at the individual names here.
अब मनीष जी, प्रॉब्लम तो ये है ना, आप इंडिविजुअल नेम्स का नाम नहीं ले रहे, आपसे इंडेक्स पे ही बात करेंगे। आप कम से कम जो मिरेई के पोर्टफोलियो है उस पर तो जिक्र कर ही सकते हैं। नेवरदलेस, my final question to you is on defense counters. Now that other parts of the market are perking up, like PSU banks, railway stocks, many other themes are now back in action. Do you think it is time for defense stocks to rest a bit after this stunning rally that we have seen in the month of May?
तो शैल जी, डिफेंस बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है और इंटरेस्टिंग डिस्कशन है। ग्लोबली डिफेंस की थीम बनी हुई है, स्टॉक्स काफ़ी चल चुके हैं, तो एक ये क्वेश्चन बार बार आएगा कि अब इन स्टॉक्स में क्या करना है। एंड आई थिंक व्हाट वी हैड बीन
जी
टेलिंग पीपल कि जहाँ पर भी अगर आपको डिफेंस में एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है डिप में, आई थिंक ये सेक्टर में अभी और स्टीम बाकी है। और इसके फंडामेंटल रीज़न है कि अभी हाल फिलहाल में ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में जो इंडियन डिफेंस की कैपेबिलिटी दिखी है कि ओवरऑल एक इंडिजिनस फैक्टर चला, फॉरेन कंपोनेंट्स पर रिलायबिलिटी काफ़ी कम थी। फिर एक इमरजेंसी प्रोक्योरमेंट की बात हो रही है, ओवरऑल ऑर्डर बुक अच्छी बनी हुई है, और डिफेंस में गवर्नमेंट का एलोकेशन अभी बढ़ रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये सेक्टर अभी चलता रहेगा। वैल्यूएशंस थोड़ा आपको परेशान करते रहेंगे, बट आई थिंक जब भी एक डिप्स मिलता है डिफेंस में पोजीशन लेने में, आई थिंक अभी कोई बुराई नहीं है। और ये हमने काफ़ी पहले ये बात की थी, जब ट्रम्प की सरकार आने वाली थी, तब से हमने डिफेंस थीसिस पर बात करना चालू कर दी थी, और आई थिंक ये थीम अभी कंटिन्यू रहेगी।
जी धन्यवाद मनीष जी इन शानदार सोच के लिए, खासकर लार्ज कैप्स वाली, और इस बात को जताने के लिए कि निफ्टी तो वैसे ही रिकॉर्ड हाई पे है, 1-2-3% का क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है। धन्यवाद आपके कीमती समय।
थैंक यू शैलेंद्र जी।
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Manish Jain from Mirae Asset Capital Markets. He's the Chief Strategy Officer. And let's now look at the markets. In particular, let's look at the Fin Nifty. This is an index that is going up by leaps and bounds. If you look at how the CNX Fin Nifty is doing, it is making a fresh high, 27,045, about a percent higher, but it's the mid cap NBFCs that are in top shape. Look at Capri Global, now up 11%. There is a very, very sharp move that is coming in NBFCs such as PEL, Piramal Enterprises Limited. That's also up very smartly. Another amount of gains that are happening are in 5-star finance, 9% higher at 800 rupees. You have a very strong move that is seen in counters like Frontline, Shriram Finance and Bajaj Finance. Look at how Sundaram Finance is moving. So large caps, mid caps, small caps, all of them are in top shape. Even troubled banks like Bandhan and RBI Bank are showing very, very strong gains, because now there is ease of liquidity. Sourcing of money will be cheap because fixed deposit rates will go down, and given that borrowing costs are down, you will see a very smart growth in credit demand. We'll close it at that, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back at 2 p.m. But bear in mind that we are now in a fresh rally as far as the Nifty is concerned. It is broken past a trading range which was troubling it for more than a month. So beyond 25,116, the Nifty is in a fresh orbit. Let's hope it closes above 25,116 today, and that will be the beginning of a fresh trend in the Nifty. Bear in mind, you are just 1,000 points away from an all-time high on the Nifty, and we should see it fairly soon, given the good monsoon, given the rate cuts, given the enthusiasm that the economy has now in itself. Thank you for watching.
Hello and welcome to India Today and Business Today. I'm Siddharth Zarabi. Rising trade barriers, slowing global growth, and shifting economic dynamics, the